Relationships and marriages have been formed on the rebound from something tragic.
Tell me about couples that have gotten it right with you, where they walk in and you just kind of go, okay, these two don't need that much of my help.
Yeah, there have been one or two rare instances where there hasn't been bloody warfare.
Rare. I hate that it's rare though.
Yeah, it's the nature of the business. It's the nature of the beast. So they come in, they want the divorce, and we start guiding them on the process, and he drops her off and he fetches her because she can't drive.
There was a client who dropped off
his ex. He
He
pays the bills, he says fine, give her what she asked for, give her X, Y and Z, and he signs. He admits to being the problem,
He was the problem.
Yeah, he gets divorced, but nothing violent or anything of the sort. It's just differences and a bit of infidelity.
A bit of infidelity.
Yeah, and then they move along and they get divorced. He gives her everything, he checks it, signs it off, it goes to court. He moves out of the room, he hasn't got a place, he doesn't move along in any of his relationships.
Okay.
He stays on the couch.
So in their marriage there was infidelity. He then gives her an uncontested divorce. He pays for everything, but he stays in the house.
Yes, until he's supposed to find a place once it's settled.
How long did it take to find a place? Forever.
Well, yeah, and then he stayed on the couch for a while, and then he never left the couch, and then several years later, after not hearing from them, I get a call saying, please help me with this. Do you remember me? I said, of course I remember you. A client and a mutual client, or couple client.
Yeah.
And help him along with it, and how's things, etc. No, we got married again.
Wow.
So
this is not the first couple who've got divorced and remarried.
So he stayed it out on the couch and they found each other again and got married again. And I believe they still are.
You should put me in touch with those two. I want to just check if it's better the second time around.
I'm sure, yeah.
So second divorces have a higher likelihood of divorce than first marriages. Or second marriages have got a higher divorce rate than first marriage.
I think people's thresholds are lowered to tolerate less because they've been through the experience, so they fear it less. So tragically, it translates into people that have less patience.
I've done this before, I can do it again.
Yeah, so that's the negative of it.
It's become a little bit of an epidemic, divorce. For this reason.
More people in the world.
Because we're seeing people more and more do it, and so more and more people feel.
There's more people in the world. It's just like more cars on the road. It's because there's more people, and the world is growing. It's not shrinking. So you would see higher numbers, but it does not mean that marriage is failing in itself. I don't believe that theory that marriage as a concept is failing.
Okay.
It's just there's more people, so there's more experiences and there's more stories.
There's more stories.
Yeah, so it does not necessarily translate into higher divorce rate. It's just more numbers.
Okay. It's one view. Okay, so I had another question around what do you look for? So I'm a divorcee. Aside from being relatable, what else do I look for in a potential divorce lawyer? Somebody that will guide me through the process.
Well, of course, first and foremost, the person has to be somebody who practices in the line of divorce. You can't go to your attorney that does commercial work and say, okay, try this along, because they faff around with it and it becomes frustrating. So it's horses for courses. Go to a divorce lawyer if you want to have the run of the mill properly explained and dealt with. You look for somebody that's able to relate to your personal issue and your where you are on the line of the equation with dealing with this. So if it's right at the beginning, then certain tools have to be rolled out in terms of how do you deal with somebody who's trying to make a decision as to whether to decide to divorce.
So they're not
even there yet. And then you get somebody who was already separated and now finalize this divorce.
Yeah.
And you get people at different stages of dealing with it, so you must be able to relate to it.
Yeah.
Give the right kind of advice for that stage.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
So you, with regards to my divorce, you were attorney number 4 or 5 along the journey.
Well, you pick up this matter and you look at it in front of you and you say, right, at what stage is this matter?
Yeah.
What is the cost so far in terms of the personal erosion of this person, this person's being at this stage? And you look at somebody and you can sum it up.
Yeah.
Being in the game, you get that experience. You can sum up exactly what stage of self-destruction is this person at,
Yeah.
and whether you can salvage them. Say to them, right, this is all that's happened. It's water under the bridge. This is the point you're at, and this is what's left in this fight.
Yeah.
What exactly do you want to achieve from here on in? And then you put the options in front of them and show how the dominoes will fall
Yeah.
with each choice.
Yeah.
And you say, right now you need to make a choice. And then sometimes you can say to them, what I think is best for you right now is to do A, B, C, and back it up
Yeah.
with a scenario that somebody can relate to in simple language and terms.
Yeah.
For them to look at a mirror.
Would you, obviously, I mean, being an attorney, you'd want people to do this the right way, but would you say going to an attorney in the first instance is
Always
a
the
better
best.
solution?
Always. Because you can't make an informed choice waking up one morning and deciding this is it without knowing the full consequences of
Okay.
what ifs.
Okay.
We have many clients who come in and say, I'm thinking about a divorce, and we give them the whole scenario play out, and there's a large number of them that don't get divorced.
Good.
They
Okay.
deal with the issues when the reality of what lies ahead of them. So it literally knocks some sense into them
Okay.
as to what they are deciding, what they
Yeah.
are toying
What this
with.
means for you financially, with the parentally, all those aspects.
And the question is, are we being petty or are we really out of options?
Yeah.
Must come to the fore.
Yeah.
And when people are really out of options, then make the decision to go for the divorce.
Okay.
But make an informed choice.
When you say out of options, you're talking about they've already exhausted what? Counseling?
Counseling, retrying scenarios.
Yeah.
Could be a number of things. There's domestic violence.
Yeah,
that
so
comes-
the
that
abusive
finally
situations.
domestic violence is the last thing to be admitted in many
Wow.
of instances.
I would imagine that it would be almost the biggest.
No, some people are far more embarrassed about it. Therefore,
So
they
an
will try
additional
to
stigma
hide it. Yes.
and shame.
So sometimes that's the last thing to be admitted at the end of the day.
Wow.
And people struggle to get to that point because it's embarrassing. It's like I said, it's a label thing. People
Yeah.
get judged on this, which is
Yeah.
it's terrible.
And that's often the role the village around you plays. So your whole everybody who was at your wedding is now sitting judge and jury because the two of you just didn't make it work.
That's often
And that's tragic, actually.
that's the negative of.
Less support, more jabbing.
Yeah, that's always the case. People are fickle, facetious, shallow. That's what it is.